Have you ever felt like you have been busy all day, but then at night you think, I have done a lot of things, but why it feels like nothing's really been accomplished? Let's imagine you're working on a task while chatting, scrolling through social media, or listening to music. Yeah, it looks like you're busy, but most of your time is spent switching focus. 3 hours pass, but your task is half done. Well, together with me, Avinda, Renata, Aprillia, we will discuss a habit that we often pride ourselves on, but secretly destroys our productivity, namely multitasking. To understand this, I have 3 main points that I would like to share with all of you. First, multitasking is just an illusion. Many people think multitasking is cool, but according to research from Stanford University, people who frequently multitask actually have worse focus and memory than those who do one thing at a time, because our brains cannot handle 2 hour tasks at once. The second, multitasking makes stressed and mentally exhausted. Let's imagine our brain is like a laptop. If too many applications are open, what happens? It gets slowly overheats and eventually it hangs. Every time we switch from one thing to another, our body is likely to release stress hormone cortisol and adrenaline. As a result, we get tired easily, anxious, and forgetful. The third is focus brings calmness and better results. For the example, there is 2 students. One studies for 2 hours while checking phone or scrolling, and the others is just focus on 1 hour but it completely focus. Who's more productive? Yeah, definitely it's the second one. When we focus, ideas flow more smoothly, words get done faster, and the results are much better. So, for today, starting today, try doing something small. First, when studying, turn off your phone notification. Second is when talking to friends, put your phone away. And the third is when working on a task, finish one thing before moving on to the next. Yeah, it feels like simple, but the effect is huge. So let's stop multitasking and start focusing on one thing, and our lives become change. Thank you.
Friends, we all dream of having a bright future. But do you know what the real key is? It's not money, it's not luck, it is education. Education opens the doors to opportunities and shapes the way we think. Unfortunately, many of us still see education as a burden. We forget that every lesson we learn today will become the foundation for our future. Education is not just about getting high grades, but it is about building skills, character, and a better tomorrow. Imagine if every student in Indonesia had a strong passion for learning, how great our nation would become. That's why we must change the way we see education. So today, Start today. Open your book, listen your teacher and lecture, and make the most of your time in school or your campus. Remember, the future doesn't wait for the lazy. It will come those who are willing work hard. Education is ladder to your dreams, and every step begins with you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Rizky. A few months ago, I realized something strange. Every night before sleeping, I told myself only 5 more minutes on TikTok. But those 5 minutes turned into an hour, sometimes two. And the next morning, I felt tired, empty, and anxious for no reason. My phone became the first thing I touched when I woke up, and the last thing I saw when I'm closing my eyes. I'm sure you have felt that experience too, that endless scroll that makes time disappear. A study by the Division of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, University of Indonesia in 2021 found that 95.4% of teenagers aged 16 until 24 have experienced the symptoms of anxiety, and 88% of them have experienced the symptoms of depressions. Those numbers are shocking, and it's caused by excessive screen time and exposure to social media. Spending too much time on screen affects our minds in three major ways. First, it reduces real social interactions. When we text or comment, we think that we are communicating, but it's not, because it is less in engaged face-to-face conversations. Second, excessive screen time disturbs our emotional balance. Social media makes teenagers feel inadequate and insecure. Why? Because we are start to comparing our life to someone else's life, which is not fair to ourselves. Third, it affects our sleep and focus. The blue light from screen tricks our brains, so we hard to sleep, and hard to sleep leads to less focus in daily. Finally, we need to remember that the real life is not behind our glass screen. It exists around us. Talk to your friend face to face, go walk without your phone, so we can live happily and healthy. So let's start today. Let's spend less time and let's have real conversations with our friends face to face. Bye. Thank you.
A few months ago, I felt like I was losing myself. Someone I loved left, and suddenly everything felt heavy, even my own thoughts. For a week, I just tried to forget. But the more I ran, the more it hurt. One night, I just stopped. I let myself cry, pray, and whisper. Maybe healing is not about forgetting. Maybe Healing is about feeling. That moment, that was start of healing. So, what does it really mean to heal? First, healing means acceptance. It's not means giving up. It means it's saying it's okay. We let go of what we can't control. And second, it's a reflection. Pain teaches us what peace never could. When we reflect, we see pattern and choose better next time. And the third, healing means growth. We don't move on from pain. We move forward with it to become stronger and wiser. Finally, healing doesn't happen in a day. It happens in every small moment when we choose to keep going. From feeling broken to finding peace, I learned that healing is not about forgetting story. It's about changing how it ends. Because the moment when we understand our pain is the same moment when we start to heal. Thank you.